Here we go. All right. Hey, guys. Sorry. We already went through the vocabulary and it went terribly. So please, really? I feel like I gave you all the answers. Sorry, there's some confusion about stuff. So please take a look at the vocabulary. It's the list we've been doing this whole time. Okay, I'm talking to you guys who are at home. Okay. Let me. Huh? Do I have VHL? Well, we'll have plenty of time for that. Let me get to my book here. And I should probably share this so I can not be guilty to the same thing twice. Share screen, Chrome tab, Mosaic 2. Good. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. We read about that already. I'll let this page load. Okay. On page 91, 91 in textbook. Do you want me to leave the lights off or do you want to? Depends on how many people are looking at a book, I guess. Huh? 91. I'm sorry, let's go 90. Let's start with 90. 90, same. Haushaltsgeräte. We talked a little bit about this. Haushaltsgeräte, things that you use in the household, like gadgets or appliances, I guess, yeah. Oh. Before we go any further, below in this article on 90, there's a little grid here. You can see it right here on the screen. Of German companies that make household appliances for kitchens mainly, but not totally. Some of the names you might know, and some of them you may not know. Most of them probably not. The first one, Bauknecht, that's not one that's exported here. They make kitchen gadgets. They have almost 2,000 employees in Germany. So that's a pretty big company. I mean, then you have Bosch or Siemens, also makes the same thing. They actually employ people all over the world, but Bosch also makes it very. Bosch also makes. You know the term, the company Bosch, B-O-S-C-H. Anyone work on cars ever, or into that kind of thing? Bosch makes car parts too. In fact, they're probably most famous for. I think Bosch is actually the person named Bosch actually invented the spark plug, if I remember right. So your car may or may not have that, but 14,000 employees almost. Liebherr is they make refrigerators and freezers, and okay, 1,700 employees. Miele, this is one that make a lot of electric household appliances, electronic things, and Miele makes also washing machines and dryers and dishwashers and coffee machines and everything that might be on your countertops that plugs in. Miele makes 11,000 employees. And then Rowenta, you know this word, this company, Rowenta, it's a German, they make a really expensive but high quality iron. Yeah, for bugle. Rowenta, that's what I think about them. They also make other things, but they got famous making irons. And I don't know, to me, expensive, like, their low end of an iron might be $150 or so. You can get a decent iron for $35, but theirs are, Anyway, I don't think they sell Rowenta at Walmart, so I don't really ever see them, but So Küchen, they make kitchen stuff. I don't really know what all that, but they have 1,100 employees in Germany. So those are some companies that probably are not so familiar to you that are German, or these actually all are in Germany, but some of them actually have, like Bosch and Siemens, they have employees all over the world, but good. So Haushaltsgeräte, we talked about the things, the Thermos, remember that? Thermoskanne? What's that, TH? You're looking at your book? What's a thermos? We talked about it already. Thermos, right? Kaffee filter. Remember the guy who helped almost come to the country, the drug dealer? Nähmaschine. Look right here. That's a Nähmaschine. I'm circling it on the screen. That's a Nähmaschine. Right. So these are all German and Swiss, I think. Will you read a little bit, Lydia? Einige wichtige. Just give your best shot at it. Just apply the rules and read through a little bit. Okay, that's a pretty complicated sentence. You see that little circle after erfunden? We can look down to this little thing down here in the corner I'm circling, and were invented, and some important household appliances were, what are people, what do we call, they're called Technikern. Who are Techniker? Technicians, okay. Technical people, you know, people that deal with electronics and all that. From, and deutschsprachig means German-speaking, deutschsprachige Länder, German-speaking countries. Yeah, of course they've invented some stuff, right? So these aren't, hey, Lydia, I heard this joke, Murphy, about, did I tell you already about the thermos? Because it is a German invention. This is, I could tell it about anybody, but I'll tell it the way I told it. And the guy who I'm telling it about has passed away, so I'm not speaking ill. But he was the Chancellor of Germany in the 80s. He was Chancellor of Germany when the Berlin Wall came down. So he was there for like 16 years. Helmut Kohl. And he was a really big guy, really, like, he could have played American football. But there was a joke about him that, about the thermos, that they had the leader of, Gorbachev at the time of Russia, Soviet Union, Ronald Reagan was the president, and Helmut Kohl from Germany. And they asked him, the press asked him questions. What do you think's the most beautiful place in the world, you know? And of course, Gorbachev says, well, it's the vast Russian forests and landscapes and mountains, and you could literally, you know, spend your entire life trying to explore that area and never see things a second time, and it's just gorgeous all the year round. Reagan says, well, it's the national parks in the United States, you know, they're so well preserved. And then Helmut Kohl said, oh, you know, something about Germany. That's not important. Okay, I'm going faster. And then they asked another question. What's another great wonder of the world? And Gorbachev said, oh, it's the Soviet military, you know, so powerful and better than any other military. And then Reagan says, no, it's American technology. That's the new wonder of the world. And anyway, Helmut Kohl says, I think it's the thermos. And then they say, yeah, really? Why the thermos? He goes, well, you know, you put like hot stuff in it, a hot drink like coffee or cocoa, and then you close it up, and then you can even put it out in the snow, you know, and then like hours later you open it up and like steam comes out and it's still hot. Or in the summertime, you can put something cold or ice cubes in there, and then you put the lid on it and put it out in the sun even, and then you open it up and it's still cold. And they said, yeah, so what's so great about that? And he goes, well, it's pretty amazing that the thermos knows if it's winter or summer, you know. Yeah, so German humor, it's not like worth the wait, you know. You're like, your punchline's like a 10-minute joke. You're like, really? That's all? Anyway, that's my joke about thermos. So read a bit more there. Thank you. Thank you, folks. One person. In einer, keep going, in einer Thermoskanne, Lydia. Yeah, so länger, like long, like a long time, but they stay länger warm. That's what I was just talking about. That was what Helmut Kohl was so impressed with. What do? They stay. Yep, good. Und der Chemnitzer. Say, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gefäße. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me stop. So in 1881, so pretty back before the turn of that century, a professor from Chemnitz, where there's a university still today. That's a city in eastern part of Germany. Came up with this principle that glass loses heat slower or less than metal or something else. So glass is a good, what do you call that? It holds stuff in, you know, like the heat or the cool. Yeah, there's a better word for this, but that's what it is. What they call Glasgefäß, container. Okay, good. So, and I remember, Lydia, as a kid, I had a thermos with my lunchbox, you know, and the thermos had glass inside of it, like the part that the liquid actually touched inside the thermos was made of a very thin glass. And the one thing you never want to do is drop your thermos or your lunchbox with a thermos in it, because it would shatter that glass. It was pretty kind of fragile, really. And you didn't want to drink it, you know, with broken glass in it, because that's always bad too. That usually never ends well, right? I can't imagine that would go well. So they've developed it further since then, but this was the original idea, was that glass retains heat better than other things. So this invention's kind of started with him. That's back when Adolf was an okay name to name your kids. Adolf Ferdinand Reinhold, and then this guy Reinhold Burger. Keep going. Forster, he researched, Yeah, and a principe, they used that word earlier in a couple lines up, a few lines up. Principe is a principle, yeah, like a scientific principle. So he developed this principle further, like started, I wonder how we can use this. So several years later, 20 years later, 22, 24, 1903. What do you think that means, registriert? Registered. He registered. What's a patent? Looks like it. A patent, though. So he's a inventor or a researcher. So he registered his patent. So he's one actually used the principle to make into something like practical. It's not just like in a laboratory that, oh, well, glass retains heat longer. He actually made it into something. So die Flaschen, these bottles. Right. What does that mean? Look below. Silberbeschichtung. Yeah, and it's so weird. Like today, we would never drink, so that's why I'm so messed up today. Between all the lead chips from the paint that I ate, you know, as a kid, they're like and then having silver inside my thermos. Right? You can't get enough lead or silver in your diet. My doctor told me I should take up smoking. He said I'm not getting enough tar in my diet, or nicotine also. Yeah, apparently. I think he's wanting me to die. I don't know. I said, dude, I'm trying to live healthier, man. Okay. No, he didn't. That's a joke. No, she's not. I'm very convincing in the way I say things. So a silver coating around it. They put a silver coating on the glass, actually. And again, it's the side of the glass that like the liquid touches. So that can't be good. And then around this all, they put what ein schützendes. So look below. What's that translate as? Right. Protective would be schützendes, and then metal, Gehäuse, housing. The word house is there, but they call it a casing. So that's what the thermos would look like. All you see on the outside is just like even on the Yeti, it's just like the metal part of the outside, right? But inside is where all the magic happens there. Okay, so that way, of course, it also protect the glass from breaking, maybe. 1909. So now we're a long ways from the original guy, but. AG. So this guy Burger, what was his name again? Reinhold Burger. He sold. What did he sell? Sein Patent. What's a patent? Patent. He sold his patent to this company. The Charlottenburg is in Berlin. It's a district of Berlin. The Charlottenburger Thermos AG. AG is incorporated. That's what that would mean. So Yeah, that's how he didn't have probably the means to like produce something from it. He just had this patent. So, and they wanted to make it and maybe mass produce it. And so it's this company, Charlottenburger Thermos AG. Und deshalb, for that reason, yeah, Flaschen means bottle, so a thermos bottle. The erste, good. So it's interesting. He started this first guy, let's just say 1880 for easy math. 1880, the guy did the early work on this idea of glass retaining heat. 23 years later, a guy patents the idea into something like a product. 6 years later, this company actually buys it, but it took them 11 years before they actually made what's Produktion? Serienproduktion. What's Produktion? Yeah, before they put it into like Serienproduktion would be like mass production, like they're cranking them out, So it took them a while to kind of get on it. They wanted the patent, but they waited a little bit. So anyway, that's the history of the Thermos. I don't know. I'm sure they're still a company today, right? I don't see them very much anymore. Okay. Let's talk about the Kaffee filter. Max, can you read there? Für das Kaffee kochen? In the middle there, Kaffee filter. Yeah, you got to have coffee filters, right, to make coffee. All right, so ein Seher. Yeah, and Melita is they make other things related to coffee making. I think they might even make coffee machines. I'm not sure, but they definitely make coffee filters, and that's where so dare, go to the top there, dare. Uh-huh. So it's this person's first name, Melita Benz, and she's from Dresden. So 1908. What did she revolutionize? Coffee makers, yeah, coffee making. So she used, does it mean verwendete? So sie verwendete? Yeah. Yeah. Let's look below here. Durchlöcherten. What does it say that means? Messingtopf. What is that? Okay. So the brass pot had tiny holes poked in it, or not poked in it, but drilled into it probably, where liquid can actually filter through, but small enough holes that the coffee can get through, but that hopefully the coffee grounds don't come through it. But she's using it here with copper. Good. And damit, so that what? So she's filtering what? Kaffeesatz. Coffee grounds. And what do they have to describe coffee grounds? Bitter. Bitter is the same word in English and German. Bitter Kaffeesatz. So it filters out. Okay. So aus dieser Idee. Yeah. So filter paper. Und das Patent. Another word for, here's another, that word again, Patent. Am 20. Mhm. 1908. Yeah, so a patent is a patent, but what's a Patenamt? That's where you got to go to do this, to register. What's a Patenamt? Or the Patent Bureau, maybe they might call it too. Where would you go to patent something? Anyone know? It's very simple. It's called a patent office. That's what but Amt usually refers to like governmental offices, like a office, like a, like a bigger, the patent office. There may be individual places around the country, but it's a big, they're all related. So Patentamt, they call it sometimes the Postamt is the post office, that kind of word for office. There's no office. I don't know if there's an office in the post office or not. Maybe somewhere in the back there's a desk or something, but it's not like an office like you go into and, go to work selling stocks or something. It's a office, like we just use that word for government stuff too. So and the Kaiserlichen Patentamt would be like the royal, because it was back so under the Kaisers, right? 1908. So they still had some more time left. Royal Patent Office in Berlin. Good. And then Bryce, Nähmaschine. What is a Nähmaschine? In the picture there. Here we go. So eine Nähmaschine. Sehr good. So there's that word Maschine twice. We have another word in our vocabulary. It's called a Waschmaschine. Remember that word? Wash machine. Okay. It's pretty common, like we use it here too. So Nähmaschine ist eine Maschine, of course, for clothing production, Kleiderproduktion. And the first one, go ahead. Yeah, and he had the word Firma. I think someone else had the word Firma. The top of the same column. Firmenname. What is it? What's a firma? Say again. We'll say it again. No. This is that's a good guess though. But this is a firma is Thermos AG, or a firma is Melita, or a firma here is going to be Bernina, or a firma here locally in Tulsa might be, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's the company, or a firm, like we have a firm, like a law firm, or so. But they use the word firma more broadly for other businesses. So a Firmenname is the name of the company, and here the first sewing machine firma. What's the name of it? Bernina AG. So we had that twice. We had Thermos AG and probably also Melita AG. But Bernina International AG and wurde von. I like that name for some reason. Gegauf. I don't know why. And gegründet means it was founded by him. So wurde von Karl Friedrich Gegauf. It makes it even better to say Gegauf gegründet. I don't know. It's like you're trying to make fun of German almost, but you're not. But Gegauf gegründet. Just say that. People think you're. So Gegauf, what did he do? What is kompliziert? What's that mean? Look at the word. No, but you're on the right. First few letters are correct. Complicated, yeah. Sewing's complicated. Actually, inventing a sewing machine is a pretty ambitious idea, really. Think about all the things that they do and even a basic one. But so kompliziert und look at that word below. What's that mean? He's not talking about sewing machines, but that sewing is complicated, and it's also right. A lot of thinking, you gotta measure, and it's a whole lot going into this. So it can be labor intensive. So 1800, keep going. Sehr gut. Holzaum. And look at what it means, what Holzaum means. It only kind of did one thing. Right, so it can only hem a skirt or pants or something, right? Which is probably what a lot of people use sewing machines for anyway, but unless you're making your own clothes or designer, but so it could put a hem on a skirt, you could lower something, make your pants longer, shorter, whatever. So that was the first sewing machine, first kind of sewing machine was a hem sewing machine in the world. So damit konnte man
könnte man 100
Stiche.
pro
Right. So what do you think? It could do this something 100 something per minute. What do you? Stiche almost sounds like English. What the word I'm looking for? Stitches, right? So it could not like stitches like you have an injury they give you stitches, but like the stitches in the clothing. Let's think about that. It had to be somebody with a needle and thread, like one in out, 1, 2, 3. But it can do 100 in 1 minute. Can really crank them out. So damit konnte man 100 Stiche pro Minute nähen. Okay, 1885. Zerstörte. Yeah, something was destroyed here. So what's Großbrand? And zerstört, I said, meant destroyed. What was destroyed? Die Werkstatt. Yeah, the workshop, maybe, of the brothers. There's another guy, I guess. The brothers Gegauf. Another great one. Gebrüder Gegauf. What about this one? Gebrüder Gegauf gegründet. People love that stuff. And what do you think? That's a great word. What does komplett mean? This fired, destroyed it completely. Well, that's too bad. So lediglich. Yeah, what is a prototype? Prototype. So they hadn't really manufactured this thing yet. They've got one, but they just built this one. Now they got to put it into production, but they've got a prototype. And what's gerettet werden mean? So they were able to grab it, forget about your brother, grab the prototype. That's our future, not your brother. I don't know. Yeah. So they were able to save the prototype so that they could keep going. And heute which means successful. Eine sehr erfolgreiche. Right. So where is this located? Where's this company? In Switzerland, yeah. A Firma in der Schweiz. And it's a very sehr erfolgreiche Firma in der Schweiz. And there's a place not far from me that sells sewing machines at the Farm Shopping Center, 51st and Sheridan. The farm. And they sell all different brands. Of course, they sell Bernina. It's a pretty expensive, from what I understand. I've never really priced sewing machines, but people have told me that you can get a Singer sewing machine or some other brands cheaper. But Bernina is a little more expensive, but that's the company that discovered it. So good. Let's look at 91. Next page over. 91. And hear about this funny word, Fachleute. Fachleute. So we had the word Fach before, like a subject in school. Remember that? There's a whole song about it too. But was ist dein Lieblingsfach? English, Mathe, Chemie, Deutsch, English. Nobody remembers. Okay, but it's a little different use here. It has to do with an area, a subject area that you're trained in, but more like a career area that you're trained in. So maybe you're trained to be, or maybe you're trained to be a stock trader or a car salesman, or that's the area you're trained in. But this works a little differently in Europe in general, but also, of course, in Germany too. So I know we've got a few minutes left. Let's do, Graham, can you read Eine offizieller?
Eine offizieller Beruf in der Schweiz ist
Fachmann.
And Fachfrau.
Yeah, so you can be, if you're, of course, man, and that means that you're formally trained in this area. So, and this sounds weird to us because we kind of have a very kind of, with most careers, have kind of a freestyle kind of like, maybe they want you to have a degree, maybe they don't, doesn't matter. It depends on what they want. And then they might say, we'll train you how to do this. So, but even like in a bookstore, just an example, not that that's a bad job at all, but someone who really knows literature, someone who really knows books and writing, and they call that person a fachman. So some people in Europe are like, yeah, sometimes I buy books on Amazon, but it is nice to go to a bookstore and really speak with a fachman who really like a expert maybe, or someone who's really trained in that. You don't get that on Amazon.com. You read people's reviews and stuff, but there's, I don't know. So I can, all right. So this one is these people are trained in Hauswirtschaft. So look below. What's that mean? Fachleute, Hauswirt. Look at the very bottom there. Right. So this is who you want coming in. Look at these people here, what they're doing in the picture there. So Personen, persons with.
Personen mit diesem Beruf sind Experten.
What are Experten? And they're experts in what? Für
Hausarbeit.
What's Hausarbeit? Housekeeping, housework, right? So they're experts. So not only do they know how to sweep a floor and mop a floor, but they know how to get that wine stain out of your white sofa. Like that's the kind of thing. Like they can come in and make your house look brand new. Or maybe you're selling a house, you own a house and you're renting it or selling it, and people moved in and out. You're going to clean it up for the new renters. These are the people you want to come in, and they're trained in this. This is their career. This is what they do. They take it kind of seriously. Here, you might be able to get a job cleaning houses. Just walk in and they like you and they hire you and tell you how to do stuff. Here, it's a little more formal. Hebrew, das Berufsziel. Yeah, and what is this? What professional aim? I guess the professional goal is what? Menschen
fühlen sich in ihrer Wohnung wohl.
So yeah, so their goal is that people feel comfortable, whatever, in their own home. That they feel good about where they live. Okay? Und deshalb, for that reason.
Deshalb putzen.
Oh, what's putzen? That's one of our words. They clean. Putzen sie.
Zimmer schnell
Look below. What's schnell? We know it's quickly, but what's gründlich? They clean it quickly, thoroughly, and what's umweltschonend? Below here too. Environmentally friendly. See that? Umweltschonend. It's on the next line. And so they do it, but not by pouring a bunch of chemicals down your drain or something, but or into the water or whatever. But they do it in a way that's good for the environment or safe for the environment. Okay, then by Schäden, if you have damages. Reparieren, Sie. Schäden. Let's say you have a chair that's broken, or you got a bed that, who knows, whatever. Something in your home that has damage to it, they can fix it. They know how to do that. And then Fachleute, that means these professional home cleaners. Fachleute, Hauswirtschaft. Yeah, Heim would be like places where, like an old folks' home, where people who need help, right? What do you call that? Assisted living or that kind of thing. Okay, and what else? Where else? Now say Krankenhäuser. What's a Krankenhaus? Where people go before they end up in the Heim, probably. The nursing home. Some of you might have been there before. Krankenhaus. There's one over here on 21st and what? 21st and Utica. Hospital. They work in hospitals, hotels, restaurants. Oh, you guys.
Can I wave hi to all of them?
Who's? Oh, yeah.
Hi, you're getting a phone call.
Hi,
everyone. Can they see me?
There you go.
Oh my gosh, who's on here?
There's a few people.
There's only 3?
Right now, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Bye.
Thank them for waiting for the bell before they left the classroom. Cheers.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.